Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to challenge your thinking. I want to confront the comfort zone that keeps you where you are. It's time to stop being nice. When we talk about being nice, we often think of it as a good trait, something that helps us get along with others, avoid conflict, and maintain harmony. However, being nice can sometimes come at a steep price, especially when it comes to your true identity. Too often, in the pursuit of being nice, we lose touch with who we really are, with the purpose that's been planted in us from the beginning. Being nice can push us to conform to societal expectations, to adopt behaviors that please others and avoid rocking the boat. It can lead us to suppress our true thoughts, desires, and beliefs because we fear disapproval or rejection. We begin to modify our actions and even our values to fit the mold of what we believe others expect from us, all in the name of being nice, but in the process, we sacrifice the most important thing we possess, our authentic self. The truth is that niceness doesn't require you to be true to yourself. Niceness requires you to be agreeable, to be compliant, and to put the needs and wants of others ahead of your own. There's a difference between kindness, which is an expression of compassion, and niceness, which is often driven by the desire to avoid conflict and discomfort. Niceness pushes us to please, to keep the peace, and to be liked, rather than to stand in our own truth, to speak with conviction, and to honor our own inner wisdom. When you choose to be nice over being real, you begin to bury your true identity. Your thoughts become filtered, your opinions diluted, and your dreams muted. You start to live for the approval of others, constantly monitoring yourself to ensure you're meeting their expectations. In doing so, you rob yourself of the opportunity to fully express who you are, to live in alignment with your purpose, and to make a unique contribution to the world. Your true voice gets drowned out by the noise of pleasing others. This kind of self-sacrifice is dangerous because it keeps you trapped in a life that isn't yours. You become like a chameleon, changing colors to blend into every situation, every group, every environment. But what happens when you do this? You lose your distinctiveness, your authenticity, and your edge. You stop standing out. And what's worse, you become disconnected from your inner strength and purpose. You were created with a specific set of gifts, talents, and qualities that are unique to you. Your purpose was designed by a higher power, and it's tied to who you truly are. No one else has the exact same combination of experiences, skills, and vision that you do. But when you start to prioritize being nice above being authentic, you disconnect from that very essence. You become a watered-down version of yourself, trying to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. You were not born to fit in. You were born to stand out. You were born to create, to lead, to influence, and to make a difference. But that's not possible if you're constantly suppressing who you are. The world doesn't need another copy of someone else. It needs you, your true, authentic self. But you can't show up as your best self if you're too focused on keeping everyone around you happy. The world needs boldness, not niceness. It needs individuals who have the courage to speak up when things are wrong, to challenge the status quo, and to stay true to their values even when it's uncomfortable. Nice people tend to avoid confrontation, to shy away from difficult conversations, and to accept things as they are rather than push for change. But if you're going to leave a lasting impact on the world, you must be willing to stand in your truth, even if it means disrupting the peace. Nice people often shy away from challenging the beliefs and practices that hold them back. They fear rejection and disapproval, so they stay silent in the face of injustice or mediocrity. But in doing so, they allow themselves to be invisible, to blend in with the crowd. They sacrifice their individuality, their unique perspective, and their power. And in this process, they forfeit the ability to truly influence the world around them. Being nice also creates a false sense of security. We think that by being agreeable, we can avoid conflict and maintain smooth relationships. But in reality, avoiding conflict doesn't help you grow, it keeps you stagnant. It prevents you from addressing the things that need to be addressed. It stops you from stepping into your purpose and embracing the challenges that will propel you forward. When you sacrifice your true identity for the sake of being nice, you become trapped in a cycle of unfulfilled potential. You might gain temporary approval, but you'll lose the most important thing of all, your sense of self-worth. You'll be living someone else's life, meeting someone else's expectations, and forfeiting the greatness that's within you. To reclaim your true identity, you must be willing to let go of the need to please everyone. You must be prepared to stand firm in your beliefs, to speak your truth, and to honor your unique path. You must be willing to confront the discomfort that comes with rejecting societal norms, with saying no to things that don't align with your purpose. It's not easy, but it's necessary. When you stop being nice and start being true to yourself, you tap into a deeper level of confidence and fulfillment. You step into your power, and you begin to live a life that's aligned with your purpose. You stop seeking the approval of others and start seeking your own inner validation. You begin to honor your voice, your passions, and your dreams. And in doing so, you open the door to greatness. I challenge you today, stop being nice. Stop sacrificing your identity for the sake of others. Be bold. Be authentic. Live the life you were created to live. Only then will you truly find fulfillment, success, and the freedom to become the person you were meant to be. Nice people often avoid confrontation, seeing it as something to be feared, something that disrupts peace and creates discomfort. They believe that conflict will lead to broken relationships, hurt feelings, or rejection. As a result, they shy away from difficult conversations, avoid addressing issues head-on, and maintain the status quo even when things are not right. But the truth is that avoiding confrontation doesn't lead to peace. It leads to stagnation, unresolved issues, and unfulfilled potential. The avoidance of confrontation comes from a place of fear. It's the fear of being disliked, the fear of rejection, the fear of rocking the boat. Nice people often live their lives trying to make everyone happy, trying to maintain harmony, and trying to be agreeable. They do this because they want to be loved, accepted, and valued by others. In their desire to avoid conflict, they often compromise their values, silence their voices, and allow things to go unaddressed, all in the name of keeping the peace. But true peace doesn't come from avoiding conflict. It comes from confronting what needs to be dealt with and resolving it with integrity and courage. The problem with avoiding confrontation is that it doesn't allow for growth. It keeps you stuck in a cycle where problems are never addressed, challenges are never faced, and personal development is never fully realized. Think about it, conflict is a natural part of life. It's a part of relationships, of business, and of progress. Conflict doesn't have to be negative, it can be constructive. It can force you to examine your beliefs, clarify your values, and take necessary action. Without confrontation, you remain in a state of passivity, never growing, never learning, and never moving forward. When we avoid confrontation, we avoid growth. If we never address the things that are holding us back, the things that are causing tension in our relationships or workplaces, we allow those issues to fester. They may start small, but over time they build up and become bigger problems that are much harder to solve. In avoiding confrontation, we end up creating more conflict down the road, conflict that could have been prevented if we had faced it head-on in the beginning. Nice people also often avoid confrontation because they don't want to hurt others. They fear that being direct or assertive might cause pain or damage to someone's feelings. And while it's important to be kind and considerate, avoiding the truth out of fear of hurting someone is not helpful to either party. Sometimes the most compassionate thing you can do for someone is to tell them the truth, even if it's difficult to hear. By not confronting issues, you're actually denying the other person the opportunity to grow or change. Think about a situation where someone you care about is making poor decisions. You see the consequences of their actions, and you know that if they continue down this path, they will suffer. If you choose not to confront them, you're allowing them to continue in their harmful behavior, and you're not giving them the chance to make a better choice. The same applies to yourself if you avoid confronting your own mistakes, your own limiting beliefs, or your own self-destructive habits. You're choosing to stay stagnant rather than growing and evolving into the person you were meant to be. Avoiding confrontation also damages your own sense of self-worth. When you don't address the issues in your life, whether it's with others or within yourself, you are silently agreeing to live in a state of mediocrity. You are allowing things to remain in disarray because it's easier than facing the challenge of dealing with them. But this kind of passive living is not fulfilling. It's not the life you were created for. You were meant to stand up for what is right, to speak your truth, and to confront the issues that are in your way. Avoiding confrontation means avoiding your own potential, your own purpose, and your own power. Avoiding confrontation often leads to resentment. When you don't speak up about what's bothering you, when you don't confront issues as they arise, you allow them to build up inside you. The unspoken frustrations, hurt feelings, and unresolved issues eventually create a toxic atmosphere. Resentment can erode relationships, whether they are personal or professional. It creates an emotional distance between you and the people you care about. But when you confront issues directly and with honesty, you clear the air and you give the relationship the chance to heal and grow stronger. It's also important to note that confrontation doesn't have to be aggressive or hostile. Confrontation simply means facing a challenge or addressing a problem in a direct and constructive way. It doesn't mean attacking the other person or escalating the situation. In fact, the most powerful confrontations come when you are calm, composed, and focused on finding a solution rather than winning an argument. Nice people avoid confrontation because they fear the discomfort that comes with it. But discomfort is a necessary part of growth. Every time you face a difficult situation, every time you engage in a difficult conversation, you stretch your capacity to handle challenges. You become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Avoiding confrontation, on the other hand, keeps you in a state of fear, where you are never fully operating in your power. You can't grow if you're always running from discomfort. You can't build the life you want if you're always avoiding the things that scare you. Confrontation is an opportunity for you to assert yourself, to express your needs and desires, and to stand firm in your beliefs. When you confront challenges head-on, you show the world and yourself that you are capable, strong, and unafraid to face the hard truths. Avoiding confrontation is a form of self-sabotage. It keeps you stuck, prevents you from growing, and hinders you from becoming the person you were meant to be. It may seem easier in the short term, but in the long run, it only causes more problems. Confrontation, when done with respect and integrity, is a tool for growth, healing, and progress. Embrace confrontation as an opportunity to strengthen your character, to improve your relationships, and to live a life of courage and purpose. Stop avoiding the difficult conversations and start facing them with confidence. Only then will you experience true transformation. Nice people often find themselves caught in a cycle of seeking approval from others. The desire to be liked, to be accepted, to fit in becomes their driving force. They shape their behavior, their choices, and even their values based on what others think or how others will react. They seek to please everyone around them, often at the expense of their own goals, dreams, and most importantly, their purpose. The unfortunate reality is that when we prioritize the approval of others over our true purpose, we miss out on the opportunity to live a life of authenticity, fulfillment, and impact. The craving for approval is deeply rooted in human nature. From a young age, we are conditioned to seek validation from our parents, teachers, peers, and society. We're taught that if we meet certain standards or behave in a certain way, we will be accepted and loved. This desire for acceptance is powerful. But when it becomes the central motivation in our lives, it can be incredibly limiting. Seeking approval turns us into people pleasers, individuals who bend to the will of others, sacrificing our own needs and desires just to maintain peace or gain favor. When we seek approval over purpose, we are essentially living our lives based on someone else's script. We make choices based on what we think will be approved by those around us instead of what aligns with our values, vision, and passions. This leads to a life of incongruence where our actions don't reflect who we truly are or what we truly want. We may find temporary comfort in the approval of others, but this external validation is fleeting. It's not sustainable, and it doesn't fulfill us on a deeper level. Living for approval leads to compromise. You might start saying yes to things you don't really want to do, just because you want to be liked. You might make decisions based on what others will think, rather than what's right for you or what's in line with your purpose. You start sacrificing your time, energy, and resources to please others, but in the process you neglect your own needs and desires. When you prioritize approval, you lose sight of your own goals, and before long, you become disconnected from your true purpose. The pursuit of approval can also lead to a loss of personal integrity. In trying to meet the expectations of others, you may start to compromise on your values or principles. You might say things you don't believe, agree with things you don't support, or participate in activities that go against your core beliefs, all in the name of fitting in. But when you compromise your integrity, you lose your sense of self. You become a hollow version of yourself, one that's constantly adjusting and conforming to please others, without ever truly living in alignment with your own truth. Seeking approval also fosters a fear of rejection. When you live for others' approval, you become terrified of being judged, criticized, or disliked. This fear holds you back from taking risks, from being bold, and from stepping into your full potential. You hesitate to speak your mind, share your ideas, or challenge the status quo because you fear how others will respond. You hold yourself back, stifling your creativity, your passion, and your vision. The fear of rejection becomes paralyzing, and in trying to avoid it, you shrink back from your purpose. Living in alignment with your purpose requires courage, authenticity, and the willingness to be true to yourself, even when it means not pleasing everyone. Your purpose is not dependent on the opinions of others. It is tied to your unique calling, your passions, and your gifts. When you embrace your purpose, you stop seeking approval because you become grounded in the truth of who you are and what you were created to do. Purpose empowers you to make decisions based on what is right for you, not based on what will make others happy. It gives you the confidence to stand firm in your beliefs even when they are unpopular or misunderstood. Living with purpose means prioritizing your own vision over the fleeting opinions of others. It means saying no to the things that don't align with your goals and yes to the things that move you closer to your destiny. It's about choosing to live for something greater than yourself and being unapologetic in that pursuit. The person who lives for approval is always looking outside of themselves for validation. They allow others' opinions to dictate their decisions, which leads to a life of external dependency. But the person who lives for purpose looks within. They trust their own vision, their own wisdom, and their own calling. They know that their purpose is greater than the temporary satisfaction of being liked or accepted by others. When you choose purpose over approval, you begin to live a life that is true to who you are, that brings fulfillment, and that leaves a legacy. When you prioritize purpose, you also give others permission to do the same. People are inspired by those who live authentically and boldly, who pursue their dreams and stay true to their vision, even in the face of opposition. By living for purpose, you become a role model for others who may be trapped in the cycle of seeking approval. Your life becomes a testament to the power of living with conviction, and your example encourages others to embrace their own purpose as well. Living for approval may bring short-term comfort, but living for purpose brings long-term fulfillment and impact. Approval is fleeting. It depends on the opinions of others, which are often inconsistent and ever-changing. But purpose is unwavering. It provides a sense of direction, clarity, and meaning that can guide you through any obstacle or challenge. When you live for purpose, you are aligned with your true self, and that alignment attracts the right people, the right opportunities, and the right experiences. Seeking approval over purpose is a trap that leads to a life of compromise, fear, and disconnection. It keeps you small and prevents you from stepping into your full potential. But when you choose purpose over approval, you unlock the power to live authentically, to make bold decisions, and to create a life that is truly yours. You stop looking outside for validation and start looking within. You become a person who is driven by your passion, your vision, and your calling. And that is the key to living a life of fulfillment, success, and true impact. Nice people often trade boldness for comfort because the idea of stepping out of their comfort zone feels intimidating and unsettling. The fear of rejection, failure, or discomfort can cause them to prioritize safety and familiarity over the possibility of taking risks, facing challenges, or going after something bigger and more meaningful. But by choosing comfort over boldness, they unknowingly limit their potential, staying in a space where growth is stunted and opportunities are missed. The reality is that true greatness requires boldness, and comfort is the enemy of progress. Comfort is what we know. It's the place where everything feels safe and predictable. It's the routine that we settle into because it's familiar, it's easy, and it doesn't require us to take any risks. But comfort is also where dreams go to die. When we get too comfortable, we stop challenging ourselves. We stop pushing the boundaries of what we can achieve. We stop reaching for what's next. Comfort keeps us in a holding pattern, never allowing us to take the leaps necessary for growth. When we choose comfort over boldness, we avoid the discomfort of failure. We avoid the difficult conversations, the tough decisions, and the risks that might lead to rejection or struggle. Being nice often means avoiding confrontation, shying away from standing out, and conforming to what others expect. But the problem with this is that you can't achieve greatness if you're constantly trying to maintain peace and avoid conflict. Boldness requires you to stand firm in your beliefs, to take the hard road, and to be willing to fail in order to learn and grow. Without boldness, you'll find yourself stuck in a life that feels easy, but ultimately unfulfilling. Think about all the moments in life when you needed to step up but chose to stay in your comfort zone instead. Maybe you stayed silent in a meeting when you had an idea to share, afraid that it wouldn't be well received. Perhaps you let an opportunity pass by because you feared the potential for failure or rejection. Maybe you didn't take that bold step to pursue a dream because the safety of your current situation felt more secure. Every time you chose comfort over boldness, you delayed your progress. You missed out on a chance to grow, to evolve, and to truly live up to your potential. Boldness is what propels us forward. It's what pushes us to take action, to be daring, and to break through the barriers that hold us back. When you embrace boldness, you're saying yes to the unknown, to uncertainty, and to the possibility of failure. But failure is not the end. It's simply part of the journey. Failure is a lesson, a stepping stone, a chance to recalibrate and try again with greater wisdom. Without boldness, we would never take those necessary steps forward. Nice people often avoid boldness because they are afraid of being criticized, judged, or misunderstood. They don't want to rock the boat or stir the pot. And so they settle for a life of mediocrity rather than one that challenges the status quo. But here's the thing, the world needs bold individuals. The world needs people who are willing to challenge the norms, break the mold, and step out of their comfort zones. You can't make an impact by playing it safe. True influence comes from the courage to speak your truth, to take risks, and to boldly pursue the things that matter most to you. When you choose comfort over boldness, you choose to remain invisible, to be overlooked, and to fade into the background. Comfort also breeds complacency. When we get too comfortable, we stop striving for improvement. We stop setting goals, we stop taking action, and we stop growing. The pursuit of excellence requires boldness. It requires a willingness to step into uncomfortable situations, to stretch your capabilities, and to take on challenges that seem beyond your reach. Without boldness, we stagnate. We become complacent in our routines, in our relationships, and in our personal development. Nice people often trade boldness for comfort because they fear what might happen if they truly go after what they want. They fear the uncertainty, the unknown, and the potential for failure. But it's in that very uncertainty that growth happens. Boldness doesn't guarantee success every time it guarantees that you will learn, that you will evolve, and that you will eventually achieve your goals. Boldness is the key to personal transformation and to making a lasting impact on the world. When you make the decision to embrace boldness, you become empowered. You realize that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. You understand that success is not about avoiding challenges, but about facing them with courage and resilience. Boldness means taking action even when you don't have all the answers, when the path ahead is unclear, and when failure is a real possibility. Boldness is about trusting yourself, trusting the process, and knowing that you have the strength to handle whatever comes your way. Being bold is also about taking ownership of your life and your decisions. It means no longer allowing external circumstances or the opinions of others to dictate your actions. Boldness comes from a place of self-confidence, knowing that you are the creator of your own destiny and that you have the power to shape your future. The moment you choose boldness, you reclaim your personal power and you step into the person you were always meant to be. Trading boldness for comfort not only keeps you from reaching your full potential, it also robs the world of what you have to offer. Your gifts, your vision, your unique perspective are valuable, and the world needs you to step out and share them. Boldness allows you to express your true self, to take up space, and to make the difference you were created to make. When you stay in your comfort zone, you deny the world the opportunity to benefit from your unique contributions. Choosing comfort over boldness may seem easier in the short term, but it comes at the cost of your growth, your potential, and your future success. Boldness is what moves you forward. It's what propels you toward your goals, your dreams, and your purpose. When you stop trading boldness for comfort, you unlock your true potential and step into the life you were meant to live. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Boldness is the key to achieving greatness and living a life that truly matters. So, embrace boldness, take risks, and never settle for less than what you are capable of.